Alright, welcome back to another stream. Doing some Rivulet speedruns. It's been a while since I've played Rivulet. This time I'm doing the story run, going through the iterators. I've yet to do like a full run in this category, but I have practiced it a little bit, not too much. We'll see how it goes. Might struggle a bit with the rot. Also, this is more of a practice run. I don't need this. It's more of a practice run, so I won't be resetting too much. There's situations where I will run out of karma, and I have to restart to... Because I don't know, I don't want to spend too much time like farming karma. Hey, a bit messy. I will be taking the route through the gutter and exterior. So after getting to Pebbles, I'm going through the exterior to get to the shoreline. But also going through the gutter means I need to karma cache at the beginning. Just how this run is, because it's a 5 karma requirement. I would like if that was lowered. Maybe like 3, or maybe just increase the Rivulet starting karma. Because you start right next to the gutter. Should be like an amazing shortcut. But you just can't take advantage of it without spending a ton of time farming karma or karma caching like this. This is also kind of why I don't want to reset too much. Because to start every run is going to have to start with this. And it's not all that interesting. I do have a remix setting on that gets rid of randomized cycle duration. Randomized cycle length, which I think is allowed for this category since there's getting from this shelter to a shelter and chimney. You can just barely make it with the longest possible cycle. Otherwise, since that's the fastest route, we're pretty sure it'd be kind of random, like whether you have enough time to make it there in a run, so you'd have to like restart the beginning even more. Okay. That sucks. I didn't, well, a few mistakes there, but sometimes the scavengers don't kill you, sometimes they do. I'll try not to fall down there next time. Usually they aren't very good at hitting you when you're really close to them and jumping around like that. And of course, no scavenger show up this time. So this is a rough cycle, since you want to make it all the way to close to the top of chimney canopy in a single cycle. Okay, scavenger. Ooh, they did throw a spear. Another thing that isn't great about this run, a lot of scavengers right at the beginning. Of course, in an actual run, you would just restart at this point. But that's just even more karma caching. It'd be like a whole hour of doing this to start the stream. Maybe I'll try something. I have a pearl. Maybe I'll just give this to scavengers if they show up. Otherwise it kind of just gets in the way, but considering that scavengers have been the problem. I don't need to pick that up. Kind of hard to see where to jump there, since it's off screen. Barely. Of course, I take out the pearl and there's no scavengers. Guess I could still run into them, but it's probably better to hold on to items to still a few creatures in the gutter that are kind of annoying to deal with. Oh wow. I didn't know there's a spitter spider in there. Chasing after me. I don't know. I guess I'll hold on to this. I don't think I'm gonna be dealing with scavengers. Oh, yeah, that always looks like an orange lizard is coming in. But it's always just those few centipedes. That's not a fun sight. It's not great. I need as much time as I can get to make it to the next shelter, as I proceed to mess up this turn. Yeah, these spiders, not really that dangerous. They tend to ignore you. Not this guy though. Okay, that was a little close. Thought of just climbing poles in this part. Probably a better way to do that. Okay, that was risky. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't have a fast reaction time. Okay, I've been having trouble grabbing onto those poles for some reason. Maybe if you're moving too fast. So just want to be careful there. If I held down, I probably would have just rolled off the edge. So this is where the rain starts, roughly around this area. But luckily, doesn't get heavy enough to be dangerous. Did you make this? No, no. I mean, you might be able to do it with the wall jump. Wasn't it just thing I'd like jumped on that wall somehow? So now we're going from here all the way up to Pebbles. There's usually a blue lizard there. I didn't mean to throw a spear at it, but I guess it still works. I said I wouldn't be dealing with any more scavengers. Not usually the route, but there's a lizard. Don't know if that's any faster. Okay, it's a really good thing that that white lizard moved out of the way. It's live, yes. Welcome to the stream. Something I've discovered recently, you can do backflip into a wall bounce as Rivulet. Well, not as any of the other characters. But it might be useful for getting height, since the wall bounce sends you up quite far. Yes, Rivulet's very, very mobile. Considerably more so than any of the other slug cats, except for maybe the Saint. But they both are fast in different kind of environments. Because the Saint kind of relies on having some kind of ceiling to grapple onto. But if they do, then they can move probably faster than the Rivulet. Okay, I haven't been able to... I used to jump all the way up to the hole from there. So I didn't make it that time. Wonderful. I really wanted some lizards right now. For some reason they always end up falling there. Oh, that was another white lizard. I noticed it last second. Okay, I keep running into them, but okay, the spin that you can do as Saint doesn't actually help you with your movement at all. It just looks funny. Rivulet spawns are probably the most unique. Well, Rivulets and the Saint have the most unique spawns. It's not exactly Hunter, but it's usually more difficult creatures. Well, actually not really. It's some of the more unique creatures like Centowings and Orange Lizards that are most common for the Rivulet. I almost grabbed onto that pole plant. I don't know if I've seen any like red lizards or king vultures though. Funny how those lizards are actually almost, or like faster than the rivulet. If they're really trying. It's a good thing that they don't move that fast when they're trying to hunt you normally. The strawberry lizard kind of confuses me. I don't really understand how it what its adaptation is exactly. Because when I think of like a creature that's adapted to the cold, I think of like a larger kind of creature. It's like more like insulated from the cold. You would think that like caramel lizards or some kind of like some kind of green like lizard would be more common. And orange lizards make sense too, I suppose. But the strawberry lizards are like the smallest kind. They're even smaller than blue lizards most of the time. And you think that their tongue would get stuck on stuff that's cold. I guess that's not really a problem for the saint either. So I shelter here. You don't need the shelter here. But this is just a practice run, so there's a decent chance I die in the rot. So this is just for safety. I don't think the strawberry lizard's designed to hunt the saints. That's kind of like oddly specific. I mean, maybe from a game design perspective, but not from like an ecosystems perspective. As long as you just fall through that tunnel perfectly. Take fall damage. So part of the strats here is to throw something at Pebbles. So that he stops talking sooner. Okay, this is the like most dangerous part of the run. This jump right here. Because that tentacle, if it's reaching out, it might just grab you. Also, some of this movement can be a bit difficult because Rivulet accelerates so quickly, but then on the ground, but not in the air because of the low gravity. Oops. Didn't mean to go down there. Let's try to actually do this correctly. I suppose that's probably the best way to do it. Throw boost like halfway through that when you're falling down. So this part is very interesting because what the gravity cycle is kind of random. I mean, maybe if you're super consistent with your movement, it won't be, but it always feels like the gravity like flips at random times, and maybe the like time is randomized too between when it flips. But I can't really tell if that's the case. Yeah, sometimes you'll want like the low gravity in some areas and normal gravity in others. And like it's not really great for this room. I can't seem to get through here. Okay, this area can be really annoying if that daddy long legs is in the way. Same for a lot of these sections actually. Here and the rest of the exterior. I wasn't expecting to be low gravity right then. This is actually a pretty good cycle. You want it to be, you want the gravity to be normal by the time you make it over there. Whoops. Okay, that might be bad. That's unfortunate. Maybe I can still make it in? No. That's really hard to make it in during low gravity. It's kind of close with that. Yeah, you just want to take that slow. So this is the part of the, this is where I start to get into areas I haven't practiced as much. Well, I haven't really practiced this part of the run, but I've gone through here a few times outside of speedruns. But I usually head back up to the wall and go down from there, taking like the chimney industrial shaded route. But some other speedrunners have said that taking the route to the exterior is faster, so I'm doing that. I don't want to go like test every single route possible to see which one's the fastest. Which I did do for Gourmand, by the way. Not every single route, but a whole lot of them. Don't reach that far. Sometimes they kind of struggle to grab onto you. I don't know if it's worth just risking it. Just trying to run past anyway. Just remember to turn this on in these underwater sections, so you swim a lot faster. I think that is a good time to use it, because you swim through these two tunnels. Okay, that's always annoying. Certified wet mouse gamer. Sure. I mean, I haven't been certified by anything. No. No. I didn't expect to get grabbed by that. Maybe I'm not certified. Not yet. Time to do that whole thing again. Luckily, I don't think karma matter. Well, yeah, karma doesn't matter yet, and most of the exterior gates are only the lowest karma level. That was an unfortunate development. Sometimes they just have a tentacle reaching out where you don't expect one. That's probably, nope, still take fall damage from that. Hi, hello, over on Twitch. By the way, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. You want to watch on whichever platform you like. Can't really figure out a good way to go through this room. If I try to do more advanced movement, I end up getting stuck on the poles. Okay, I think that's kind of consistent, maybe. I mean, I guess I haven't tried it enough to know, but usually if you try to hug go as far to the right as possible before dropping down. That was close. They can probably grab you even if you're falling that fast. Let's try this strategy. Jump down from there. And I kind of already am going in the right direction. Throw boost. Yeah, that's consistent. So we should try to grab some kind of item to throw there. See, that's a lot faster with normal gravity. This part shouldn't be that bad. Low gravity. Oh, come on, I was holding to the left. I was just facing the wrong direction. There's a DLL in that room. Sometimes they can just decide to be reaching out to grab you. Oh, and this one's really bad. If it's in the way. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's not go too fast. Those are very dangerous. Although I think I'm gonna miss the cycle here. Plus maybe. Nice. 100 score run. I don't know. I feel mixed about score runs. I think they're fun if you don't try to super optimize them. But trying to like optimize a run, like getting like going for as many passages as possible, and like I don't know. I feel like it's too. You're punished way too much for dying. Especially with like karma gates. Maybe I'll try score runs eventually, but I feel like they'd just be a lot of restarting in like Sky Islands. There's also a lot of tech that I haven't really learned for score runs. Like apparently echo cycles, where you starve in a region to get the Wanderer mark, and then you see an echo, and it like saves your progress toward, as well as the Saint and Monk passages. But it gives you progress towards passages, and then seeing the echo like just brings you back to where you were before you starved, so you make progress towards some of those passages without actually having to spend cycles. And I've yet to use that in any like score runs. The best score I have is like, oh, it's over 10k points, I know. I don't remember if it was like 11 or 12k. All passage speedrun, there's 100% speedruns, which is to get all passages plus some other objectives, which usually depends on the Slugcats campaign. The Survivor example is to meet 5 pebbles, bringing a neuron to moon, and ascending. There might be something else that I forgot. But it usually involves something like that. Okay, these tunnels are kind of weird for some reason. You actually do definitely want to stay in this shelter, or depending on when you like stayed in a shelter last, because if it's raining, then you're gonna immediately die the moment you go out to the exterior. Oh yeah, speaking of slug pups, since there's now a passage for sheltering with a slug pup for like 3 cycles, that's really good for score runs. Obviously you want to get as many passages as possible, so there might be a little bit of RNG for score runs now, whether you actually find a slug pup or not. I know that there's a handful of regions where they're more common, like Shaded and Pipeline, I believe, or Pipe Yard. Skylands is not very slug pup accessible. Ah, that's unfortunate. Trying to figure out a good spot to throw that the rarefaction cell so that I can eat this food and get it on the way back. But sometimes it bounces off that wall. You have to go all the way back there to retrieve it. So this room has been awful in my experience so far. I was lucky this time, but sometimes it's just like a DLL blocking. Probably that one. They like to block my path. Yeah. Oh, that's good that they came over here. Wait, don't need to go through that. Sometimes you can jump a little too high into the things on the ceiling. Okay, always be careful with that. It's probably better to just be careful in these areas instead of trying to rush through them. Oh, okay. I thought I jumped into something on the ceiling. There's gotta be a faster way to do this, but I'm just being safe. It looked like there's a snail up there. As long as you can get into that pipe, you're fine. Okay, I don't want to risk that. I know that I might be able to jump through that tentacle and be fine. I'm just gonna try to bait it over here. That's not what I meant. Okay. This area is kind of RNG, just like depending on where the DLLs are. Same with this section. Trying to drop the cell there, or in this whole area. Fell down. It's kind of hard to tell where they are exactly. They're just off screen like that. Oh. Okay, got it. I think I landed on a platform that was just barely off screen, so I didn't even notice. Ooh, hello. It's a good thing that there's some of these like tunnels off to the side. That's a kind of alternate route. But you really want to be careful about fall damage here. Or fall stunning, because you can drop the refraction cell and kind of launch it off the screen. You don't have to restart. I think that in a normal run, is this the right way? Oh, I can keep going down. In a normal run, you can just like go to the next. You can just stay in a shelter and it'll respawn. Same with the colored pearls. They don't like just despawn permanently anymore. But you still have to like go back to where you dropped it. Of course, there's one of these guys here. Oh. I don't think you've ever seen someone descend the leg. Well, it's a pretty fast way to go from pebbles to moon. If you're doing like doing neurons, it's like a decent option. I think it's faster for the speedrun. Also, plenty of time left in the cycle, which is a little bit dangerous because lose a lot of progress when I die. Always fun. So, this area is very interesting. I missed that unlock. I've yet to like root it out, so I don't know which rooms to go in, where to jump. I guess that works. Seems like a good way to do it. I feel like this kind of thing is gonna be common for Rivulet speedruns. Any situation where you can just use the rarefaction cell and jump across a whole room. This area can be a little bit annoying. Ooh, that's why. That was very risky. So was that? Taking a lot of risks here. I tried to do a backflip to get up to that top platform. Just the one that I have to go. I have to go down here. Rainworld has this weird thing where I think that for like a casual playthrough, the fact that it encourages patience is really special, really unique to this game. Because you can pretty much get through any situation just by being patient. Like baiting creatures out of... If there's ever a situation where a creature is kind of blocking your path, you can just bait them out. Or you can try to like sneak past them. There's a lot, there's a lot of alternatives on how to deal with certain problems, but in speedrunning, you never want to take the patient solution. You want to go as fast as possible all the time, so kind of cautious with the game's design. Sometimes there's creatures in your way, and that's kind of an opportunity for you to come up with a clever solution in a normal playthrough. But of course, you're just gonna take the fastest solution. Speedrun, and that's often not a good thing to do. So I'm a little bit worried about this section because there's these guys. Usually it's really easy to get past them with a spear. But I'm holding onto this cell. Okay. See, that was a little bit close. A little closer than I would have liked. So this area is gonna be dark. I don't have a light source with me, cause I didn't need a neuron. So I have to get through these rooms blind. Only like a handful of them though. But it's at the end of this room where you can start to see again. I do have enough food. Oh, how's a spider? Also, not having a light source makes spiders more aggressive. Hello? I think I got grabbed by a spider. We're safe. Okay. A little dangerous there. First, I couldn't see what was going on. don't even really know if this is faster. Kind of more convenient because you can jump across that whole room essentially. I'm eating this karma flower, which kind of is only a good strategy if you'd never die, which is ideal in an actual speedrun. This is an area where you can save and exit to save some time. That's only the case if you like have enough karma already, max karma, and you have a karma flower. So I guess if I finish this whole run without dying, then no, it'll be worth it. I also don't exactly know where to shelter. In the runs that I've watched, I don't remember where they sheltered. But maybe if I can make it all the way to submerged superstructure, I'll just shelter the entrance to that. I think that was a plank or some variant of it. Just kind of darted off in the other direction. Do be careful about that. It's pretty easy to die from planks in enclosed spaces. Maybe that shelter is a good idea. It's kind of like right along the way. Sure, I'll take it. Go all the way back to Pebbles, yeah. Kind of risky thing about really long cycles. You can go really far, but you'll lose a lot of progress. This is already a lot better than my practice runs where I died like 5 times to the rot, or specifically the exterior. But I have not practiced submerged superstructure that much. So that will be a... Also, I don't think I should stay in another shelter for the rest of the run. Ideally. Also, a kind of useful thing about the rarefaction cell low gravity is you never take fall damage. Also, maybe I should have saved it for this section. It's already back up. So you need it to avoid the centipede, everyone's favorite creature, at its downpour. See if I can remember the route through this region. Still hate Mirrorless Vultures more. That's fair. I don't like Mirrorless Vultures either. Well, from a design, like their design is really cool, and also their implication of like some iterator taking a Vulture and Mirrorless Bird and just smashing them together. See what kind of abomination would be created. But from a gameplay standpoint, they aren't great because they like to show up and kill you instantly out of nowhere. They have less of a telegraph than regular vultures. That's not really a problem for most campaigns. They're also like impossible to kill. Whoops. They're probably one of the most difficult creatures to kill, except for maybe the purple long legs. Like, unless you have a massive supply of explosive spears, you're not gonna do it. It's still difficult for Artificer to kill them. I think the easiest way is with an electric spear or a jellyfish, because you can just stun them long enough to actually deal like consistent damage. Okay, hopefully this jetfish isn't in the way. Oh, come on. Okay, they can't knock the cell out of your hands. There's a jellyfish in this room. Okay, I guess we're going through here. If you knew where the jellyfish, where its path was, probably go through that room a lot faster. This is a kind of difficult jump. Okay, there we go. That was decent. Oh, the stowaway. I've seen a ton of stowaways. Once you know what they look like and they're like in active state, you'll see them all over the place. Mostly around the regions close to subterranean. That's where they're the most common. I now don't know which way to go. I think down. It's definitely down. There's apparently an eel lizard in this area. Can be a bit annoying. So this is an area where you actually do care about your breath. Don't go down, that's a trap. Well, not really a trap, but... doesn't go anywhere. Might not actually make... oh, there's the eel. I don't know if I have enough breath to make it. It's a little bit low right now. Try not to swim boost. Oh, I'm slowing down a lot. Oh, other side. That might have been bad. One pip left. Come on, Rivulet. Okay. So, it might be risky. I think you can save and exit there. Loading. Like the game didn't break. So I think you're supposed, that's where you're supposed to, well, obviously it's not where you're supposed to exit out, but for the speedrun. But I think it broke. I don't think the game liked that. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me just restart the game. Take a minute. Ideally, that doesn't happen in a speedrun. Although I don't even know if that counts for the time. You're supposed to have a timer, like use the in-game timer and a real-time timer. So let's see where I restart here. And also, I unfortunately lost that karma flower that I had because I exited out twice technically. But this is where you want to use a karma or want to have a karma flower so that you stay at 5 karma because you need that to get back to moon. See if I remember where to go in this region. Sub region. I think all of this counts as just looks to the moon or submerged superstructure. All part of moon. Well, not really anymore. Hey, expedition complete. You could probably plink in that water back there from that fall, and it would definitely kill you. If you like slam into that wall immediately. So I don't know if this is faster than just letting the cutscene play out, because you can still make it to Moon before the end of the cycle. And you don't have to wait through the long loading screen or stay in a shelter again. Unless, of course, the Karma Forward strategy works out. Although it seemed to just crash the game. There can be a Mirrorless Vulture in that screen. So this was actually a lot faster than I thought it would be for just a practice run. Like roughly 47 probably. There's only a few screens left where the timer stops. And this was with a few deaths, or in like all the scavengers at the very beginning. Maybe I will actually try to complete a full run without dying. This also might be a kind of short stream. I still have to get through this room though. Quite long. Oh, that was interesting. That was a pole hop, I think. That's probably a good strategy. Try to do that. Keep the pounce speed going. Okay, good thing there's water there. See, I think the timer has already stopped. Now it stopped once you entered this room for some reason. Even though this is technically where it should end, since I know I can no longer move. That was a decent run. Actually, this is quite a long cutscene. I'm just gonna exit out. That does count as beating the campaign, though. Yeah, just dying in Underhang. I think that was like the biggest time loss, as well as messing around with scavengers a bunch in the beginning. So what's that? Yeah, 47, 48. I think like 43 is close to the record for this run right now. From like iced runs. I've watched some of his streams. I guess let's do another attempt. Hunter all objectives. Yes. Is that just going to pebbles and then moon and then ascending? Or do you also have to get the echoes? I think I've done one of those runs without seeing every single echo. Or does it also include like all passages? I'm not really familiar with with some of those categories. What? I think I'm gonna try to go for a real run this time. So if there's any major time loss, I'll just reset. It's only a good way to get through this room, because I always get stuck on the poles. Not ideal. Hopefully I don't deal with any scavengers. Or they just like don't throw spears at me. Okay, so 3 echoes, pebbles. That's just enough that you need to ascend. And the neuron summon. I think I have done a run like that, although not really a speed run, just kind of casually. I guess I did that as the Saint. And some of my last few streams. I guess that was Hunter all objectives, except it was as a modded Saint. Plus enemy randomizer. Actually, I don't think I've done any like Hunter speedruns. Because before Downpour, I wasn't really interested in long categories. Anything that was like over an hour. So I just ran Pebbles percents because I thought that any percent was a bit boring. Because you immediately went to like my least favorite part of the run. So Pebbles percent was kind of a good middle ground of being a pretty short run while still going through a decent part of the game. But even that run is very short compared to some categories like the hunter categories, and a lot of the like the Downpour categories. Like I'm pretty sure Spearmaster's run it like takes forever if you don't use passages. And Saints run is quite long too, but I still kind of like running that because I just really like the Saint. Do not kill me, please. Oh, he tried to wombo combo me. Spear into or rocket to spear. Yeah, I think that was all the scavengers though. Kind of got lucky there. Please don't swim backwards. Moon runs are also, yeah, I don't really like going through shoreline. You probably just go through shaded though. I don't know, I guess I never found that category interesting. But I would like to find some alternate categories for like some of the Downpour slug cats. Like a Artificer or Spearmaster. I liked playing as them, but not really their campaigns as much. And I don't know about Artificers though. You still have to deal with scavengers. Specifically for Karma Gates, I don't like that mechanic. That was really interesting. Whatever I just did there, it kind of looked like a backflip. I mean, I tried to do a backflip there, but it didn't really look like I did a spin. Oh yeah, I really like how, well, it's really interesting how Downpour added new endings that have nothing to do with ascending. I think it's kind of a look at like base game Rain World was kind of, I don't exactly know the word for it, but it made the ascending seem like the best option. Because that's how the ancients felt, right? Like they built the iterators trying to find a way to ascend. That was like their whole thing and like a big part of their culture too. But then we get to some of the Downpour slug cats and they don't seem really interested in ascending at all. And we can just say there's like a good ending for them, even though there isn't really an ending. That's something that's interesting, right? Like they don't technically end. When you ascend, that's it, right? Like that's it. It's just ascension. It's over. Are you really gonna do this? This is actually really bad because I need as much time as I can get. to get to the chimney shelter. Like the silence isn't up here. Well, that's a cyan creature. Partially. Oh, here he is. Perfect timing, I guess. It's already starting to rain, I think. You can probably just wall jump there to make it. It's that pole. Okay, I don't really know how this compared to last run. I don't have splits up right now. But it felt better. Didn't mess around with... Or I didn't die multiple times and have to karma cash extra. I always find it funny when there's multiple creature dens right next to each other. So they end up just fighting like right as the cycle starts. Like that one, the red lizard in Industrial spawns next to a pole plant. Sometimes the pole plant just kills the red lizard immediately. You get to see that if you enter the room fast enough. Try not to mess up this room like I did last time. I'm not a fan of that lizard. Okay, goodbye. Minute faster. Didn't feel like a minute time loss last run. A lot longer. Maybe the timer is messed up. I know that the timer gets kind of weird when you karma cash. The timer goes forward and backwards a bit, so it's kind of unreliable. Probably part of why you're required to use an in-game timer, although I don't think it's necessary. Well, actually, I'm not sure. So you can just use the time on the VOD, right? To see when I started the run and the time when it ends. I didn't want to set up splits. I always like going up the walls to reveal it. I like going up the wall as the survivor. There's no leaf lizards. That's the same as the Rivulet. Except that you're just faster. And there's no drop hook either. That's kind of nice. Okay, I'm kind of inconsistent with that jump. I'm not exactly sure what the timing is. As long as you just get a lot more height. See if I can do this time. Yes, I can. Although the problem with that strategy is that you don't have rocks to throw at the lizards in this part. If it's late enough in the cycle, it doesn't matter. They'll just run away anyway. Although I do have a rock now. Okay. That white lizard saw an opportunity and he took it. That's unfortunate. I guess I don't know why that happened. Maybe they grabbed onto me in the last second. Just dragged me down. That's unfortunate. You have to be really fast with that slide, or else you just drop down the platform. I have to make that jump just from the top of that pole. Also, I feel like that's kind of a pointless, spear to grab. I kind of have a habit of just picking up spears, but then I just have to throw it anyway to pick up the fruit. Anyway, time for karma caching. I do want to pay attention to the timer and see what exactly happens. I think the timer already went backwards. So 142. Timer continues. 130. So it seems to go back about 10 seconds. Maybe that's just the time you spent starving. Just goes back. So it's like 150 almost. Let's see if it goes back there. 135, a little further back than that. Karma caching is the most exciting part of the run. So it's only 140 after all that karma caching. It's only like a few, not too long. I guess if someone wants to check at which time I entered that shelter, but definitely doesn't check it, like keep track of all the time they spend in there. Maybe that's why I didn't actually gain that much time from last attempt. I spent so much extra time karma caching that the timer kind of went backwards. These nails are always kind of annoying. Nice backflip. Don't know what that scavenger's doing all the way down there. Thought it feels kind of close. Just like off the edge of that pole and still jump. You do have a little bit of time to do that jump after you leave the pole. Same with all jumps. There's a little bit of leniency there. Still feels a bit sketchy. You don't want that spear back. In case the leaf lizard shows up. Something up here. Just want to stay busy with that. A whole bunch of bat flies. Ooh, that was close. I think that could work. I got the timing down. So you don't just jump to the other side. Could've just done a backflip there. Ooh, that's okay. You like that leaf lizard goes pretty far outside of the gutter. Like that's where it originates from. Where its den is. The descendant wing isn't a problem. Or a backflip. You know, backflip could probably also work there. Alright. It seems around 6 minutes is when you get to that shelter. Actually, that lizard just ends up lineaging that red centipede. Or into a red centipede, maybe. Or like a red lizard. I don't know what. Or maybe it doesn't lineage at all. Oh, rip. Kind of rare to see center wings get grabbed by pole plants. They usually don't grab onto poles at all. Yeah. I kind of have to look out for the glow. You can just barely see when they're off screen. I also wonder if that is. White lizard jump scare. I did not see that at all. I don't want to grab onto bat flies. I love doing that. Those kind of areas is where Rivulet has the best movement out of any slug cat. Just a lot of space to do slides. I'm trying to do that this whole time. Although it didn't really line up well with the poles. Maybe you can grab onto one of them on the way up. Also, I think I'm like not going to throw anything on that one jump. So I usually just end up not having anything to throw at the lizards. And I think that would save more time than to like not jump over. That was kind of close if they went down this tunnel. I'm just grabbing onto batflies because the Rivulet can actually eat them. It's just like Hunter and those kinds of slugcats that don't pick up batflies automatically. If you add, like, there's an option for it, the remix settings, because they get way less food from batflies, so you don't really want to grab onto them. Okay. So that works out. I don't like this though. Thank you. I usually eat these for... I don't know if that's a... I mean, I guess ideally I'm not staying in any shelters, huh? I'll try to do that. Just avoid shelters until the end of 5 pebbles. Some of these situations where the slide's too far. This would be kind of annoying to like try to have a way to control the length of your slides. Kind of weird. Like almost didn't get into the tunnel in time. I think I'm not going to do any of those jumps. Because if I mess it up, it's kind of a bigger deal. Yeah, I guess I can mess up those kinds too. Just wanted to do one anyway. So I won't be staying in that shelter. See if I can, okay. See if I can make it all the way through pebbles without dying. Or I guess the rest of the speedrun without dying. That's ideal. Okay, I probably shouldn't do that. So I always end up just getting stuck in that one hole in the ground. I don't know if you can just like a delay on when you have to throw those. Also, I will be doing this jump. Decent chance I die here. Just hope that I don't. Okay. That feels consistent so far. Although that's, it might depend a lot on the position of the tentacle. I think this whole thing's gonna look different because I think it's raining about now. That was very close. So that... try this strategy once again. Oh, okay. I need to also make sure that I'm facing the right direction. Don't pull up here. Might as well just get the glow. Help with visibility in some areas. That's the whole point, right? Okay, this is where I kind of struggled to get through last time. That's all I had to do. I guess I'm still struggling. Oh, hello. This could be a problem. That wasn't that bad. Keep pull hopping. I don't want to. I always forget that that's okay, good timing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't need to do a second jump there. Oh, I just should have done the backflip from the beginning. Seemed to work out better. This is another way to jump that. Oh, this movement is kind of messy. Didn't want to fall down here. Just doing whatever works. Maybe that's a good place to use the rip action cell. So it's just a lot of swimming sections back to back. I was saving it for this section. Not yet. Right here. I think that's probably enough time for the cell to recharge. Between those like swimming sections. Ooh, that's a bit dangerous if the cell runs out in the middle of that jump. Okay, so let's... I really wanted to avoid that specific thing from happening. Okay, I can't go through this way. Wasn't exactly sure because it's all covered up. I really wanted to avoid that DLL again. Oh yeah, shelter. Necessary shelter this time. So it gets us from here all the way to to shoreline if possible. I'll just try to play this next part very carefully if I actually want to complete a run. Hello, like 10 chat messages that only showed up just now for some reason. Sorry if I wasn't responding to any. They just showed up right now for some reason. Unless, did the stream go out? I guess it's probably just fastest to just drop that normally. Yeah, hello everyone. Speedrun's actually going pretty well. I don't think there's been any like major time losses, although that might change in this next part. Depending on if there's a DLL in this part. Okay, they're on the good side. Also, I shouldn't do that big of a jump. It always goes too far or too high. So I don't want to risk jumping there, where it's possible to jump into the ceiling and die. I hope the stream didn't go out. I kind of need to keep this VOD if I want to submit this run. Yeah, that seems like a decently consistent way to do that. Just doing a normal jump there is better. Also, I don't see the DLL, so I'm a little concerned. Probably on the next screen over. I guess that whole process felt decently fast. Like step on those poles. So I hope you can just get past that fast enough. That's not good. Okay, good thing I didn't take fall damage there, or fall stun. Like last time, I'm very surprised I was able to catch it last time. What's the Rivulet story? Depends on what you mean by that with that question. The campaign is roughly it's based on the iterators. Take the rare faction cell for Pebbles and bring it over to Moon. That's what happens. Because Pebbles is no longer in like good condition. He'd rather like, but he does still have a functioning rare faction cell, so he'd rather sacrifice himself to save Moon because he's not going to survive much longer anyway. If you're asking about the Rivulet specifically, what's up with the slug cat? I don't really know. We don't really know. They kind of have just been going around doing things possibly related to other iterators. Okay, that's a little dangerous. Because they already have the mark of communication before they even get to this area. It is something that I'd love to see expanded upon in future updates or maybe mods or something, just to like look at what the Rivulet did before making it to this area, to Pebble's facility, because I would like to see kind of a different version of Rivulet's campaign. I don't really like how this one revolves around 5 pebbles in the rot, because it's annoying to deal with, especially for a slugget that should be really fast. You kind of go through areas that limit your movement a lot. But what I do like about the Rivulet's campaign is just exploring the rest of the world with the short time limit before seeing pebbles. Kind of feels like you're speedrunning everything. So you remember you have to stay in every single shelter you can find and take the optimal path through every region, as well as like avoiding creatures and stuff. I think it's good, but it is like, I enjoy it up until pebbles, where I'm kind of just tolerating it. Like, I'll learn the speedrun. It's a main category, obviously, but I don't know. There's a reason I haven't done any Rivulet runs until now. So I would rather have done some of the more interesting categories, I think. Like just the Ascension ending. I enjoy more because you just go through all the other regions in the game. You don't have to deal with the iterators or the rare factions, so you're just running around with a really good movement. So this is, well, I'm very scared of this area. Specifically the monster kelp. I guess that's the consistent way to do it. Yeah, just jump over them. Although they can somehow still track you mid-air. Maybe the refraction cell makes noise. They can hear you. Like that's how the monster kelp work. Also, I have a Neurongula this time. Probably a good idea just for this one little bit of shaded, because I kind of dealt with a lot of spiders and mole lizards last time. Well, I don't think the mole lizards were that bad, but it's still a possibility that they get in the way. I was gonna say I can take the middle route, which is a lot faster than like climbing through these tunnels, but that was interesting. I kind of got into that tunnel real fast. Oh, hello, spider. So hopefully the spiders will be less annoying this time. Also, I'll try the strategy with actually, I don't know. I don't know if I'll try the strategy with the exiting out, because it seemed to just crash the game. I mean, that might have just been like a one-time occurrence, but I guess I'd rather not risk it. If I can just play normally. It also means I don't really care about the Karma Flower here. I don't know, maybe I'll try it again. Because it means I don't have to risk like dying at the very, very end when it starts raining. I don't know what I just did there. I'll try it. I'll try the strategy again. Maybe I like exited out too quickly and I didn't give the game time to load and that's why it crashed. So I'll wait a little bit longer for that whole process. And also, if I have enough time, I will stay in the shelter in Summer Superstructure. I think that's a good option. Also, I didn't mention this, but I think Rivulet's campaign is my favorite in terms of the story. I mean, the Saint is really interesting too, but the Rivulet's is like, I kind of look at what happens at the end of the timeline that we're familiar with. The Saint is so far in the future that it's kind of like it looks like so different. But it's a completely different story at this point. At that point, it's more about like whatever the saint is, and the echoes instead of the iterators. This campaign is more of a just like we get closure with the iterators, which is something like the base game kind of left it on an unfortunate note. Like we didn't know what would happen with Pebbles, and Moon didn't seem like they were in great condition. So I mean it's not great for Pebbles in the Rivulet campaign, but the fact that they tell the Rivulet to bring the rarefaction cell to Moon, it kind of redeems his character a little bit, saying that he's just kind of been rude up until that point. I think I should have enough. Oh yeah, the rarefaction cell. I forgot about that again. So maybe it would be better to save it until this point. I could have activated that sooner. Set the P check. So I'm now concerned that every time I don't see a chat message for a long time, the whole chat's broken. I'm missing like a few messages. I guess I'll check that once I get to the shelter. But I mean, I'm not expecting people to be chatting all the time. Oh, this is also a good time to check. No, it seems fine. It might also be a good idea to stay in that shelter, but they're both very close to the main path. What's the ending for Rivulet? I guess you're gonna see. If I actually make it to the end. I might just restart if I die. I mean, yeah, of course it's spoilers. If you're asking for the ending, you're gonna get spoilers. I do want to be careful about... Okay, I wasn't careful enough, but... Tried to avoid fall damage there. Remember, please don't get in the way. Okay, I mean, I guess that wasn't too bad. Jellyfish. I'm just gonna be extra careful around that. Also, it's probably not a good idea to use the rarefaction cell here, considering that you need to use it for this jump up ahead, unless you're like perfect with your timing. Yeah, you don't have enough time to make it, unless maybe like from here. Oh, this is a slope. You can't do anything there. Something just died to that jellyfish. Hello? Do I have enough time to... Okay, that's a little close. I almost ran out of time on the rarefaction cell. Since I was very, very close last time with my breath, I'm going to be careful and go up here to refill. Not exactly sure if swim boosting is a good idea with the refraction cell. It doesn't really feel like it gives a noticeable increase in speed, and it also just it might use up air. I don't know. Probably just to wait until it runs out. Okay, thank you, Jetfish. Did that really drain that much air? And also for this this skip, I guess it's called the skip. It doesn't really skip that much. Like one kind of long cutscene. So I guess I'll wait until now. Don't want to be too... Just don't want it to crash again, alright. Okay, it seems good. I'm at max karma. Let's continue. Too close. No, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. Maybe. It's kind of, sort of. Also, I don't need to eat any food. The only thing to worry about is like one blue lizard and a possibility of a Mirror's Vulture. It's never something that you want to hear. Okay, I don't see the blue lizard here. I find it funny that there's like one blue lizard in this whole region, and it's like the only creature you're gonna find except for Mirror's Vultures. Which there's like plenty of. I hear a lizard. Or not. It's just the region. This one area is where it snows outside of the Sands campaign. It doesn't really snow that much. I think if you get to the end of the cycle, it just rains instead. Although I haven't checked. Okay, this is good. This is a lot better than last run. I'll have to check some other runs to see how it compares, but this is pretty much the end. I like how this access shaft has a lot more space than Pebbles. Not die of fall damage here. Hello? Swim in the right direction, please. How long have I gone without saving? Technically, I think the cutscene with the rarefaction cell is a save point. But the last save was, well, right before entering superstructure. Submerged superstructure. Okay, 3805. I think that's good. I think that might be really good. On speedrun.com, the record for Rivulet story is 45 minutes. So I think this is a lot better than that. 38 seems pretty good. Although, of course, there's runs that have been submitted and not yet verified. I'd say this is pretty good. Only after, like, what, like one practice run? I have not attempted this category um, outside of today, but I have done the story uh, a few times. I guess I'll wait for the whole cutscene to play out. And also, I think I'm going to end the stream because a little bit shorter stream than normal, but I have to end it earlier, and I don't have enough time to do a whole nother run. And it'd be a little bit disappointing if I just like died halfway through and then I would just have to end there. Didn't really feel like there was anything that really got in the way. Like creature spawns were really good. Like maybe a few day long legs here and there. I'll have to time the in-game time from this stream VOD if it worked. Yeah, no dropped frames. I think that's good. I think actually I like Rivulet's run a lot more than I thought it would. Because honestly, dealing with the most annoying parts are dealing with like random daddy long leg locations. The proto long legs don't really get in the way too much if you know where they are. You can like avoid them pretty well. There's a handful that you get kind of close to running into. Other than that, I think this is like a good route. And Submerged Superstructure is really not that bad. I've heard that there could be an eel lizard that gets in the way, but nothing really got. I mean, I guess they're jetfish. Jetfish kind of mess with me sometimes, but I mean, they can't like kill you. And yeah, I guess like the exterior. Exterior is mostly just static long legs. You're just waiting for them if they're in bad spots. I like the strategy with the Karma Flower. That's like really unique. Like you need a Karma Flower so that you can exit out and still have enough Karma to make it through. Also, that's kind of weird. I just realized that the gate back into Five Pebble or Moon from Submerged Superstructure, or I guess Bitter Airy, is at the top right. It's a 5 Karma requirement, which is a bit strange, considering that if you die a lot in Submerged Superstructure, you finally make it to Bitter Airy, and you just don't have enough Karma. You have to like grind Karma at the last area. Although usually people explore a bit further throughout the region instead of immediately gunning it for Moon. There's a lot of different pipes you can go through. That's not always the obvious way to go. Don't they like canonically play board games after this point? Like they somehow find a way to communicate with each other. Maybe like through overseers or something. But they find a way to communicate and then they play board games. No one cares about you, Pebbles. So let's see what happens here. 20 food. 33 if you what would that count? Maybe like I don't know. But I know that time is wildly inaccurate. Also, one white lizard kill. What was that from? What was that? I don't remember. 38:05. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Kind of short stream today, but I think the next stream will be maybe some modded slug cats. There was an update for Rain Roll today, so maybe those mods don't work anymore. But I think I should be able to just go to an older version. So we'll have a look at some more modded slug cats. That'll be fun. All right. See ya.